All right, welcome to the Nurses Con Sazón Podcast
Made truly by the Latino nurses.
by LosLatinoNurses.
Brian here.
Josh.
Yeah. And we just out here, trying to start this podcast up. Uh, Starting the podcast, we were just like, we kind of just want to show you guys that we're like chill guys, just regular dudes and whatnot. We hope that with the podcast, we just want to, talk about like nursing stuff. Also, have you guys get to know us a little bit better too, not just people you see on your phone all the time.
Yeah, so like Brian was saying, like we just want to like connect with each other, connect with you guys. Show you guys like a little bit about us, like so you guys can get to know us, and you guys could you know see Los Latino Nurses in action, I guess, and ask us questions along the way. Hopefully, we get to bring some guests in the future. We'll be able to interview them and get to know their story as first-gen Latino nursing students. So that'll be fun. That'll be exciting. Stay tuned for those. But that's the whole purpose of this podcast, I guess, is to like just connect with you guys and just show us what it's like to be a Latino in nursing in the healthcare field.
For
as
real.
minorities, for sure. So let's get started. We have some questions that we're gonna answer that we came up with. And so you guys can get to know us a little bit better and get our story.
Yeah. So the way we want to make the pilot episode go, like number one, is a lot of people don't know who we are. So that's the aim of episode one. Y'all get to know us, our background as Latinos, why, we chose nursing, why, how we started Los Latino Nurses up, and then also just some tips about just like being in healthcare, because being in healthcare is like really hard sometimes. It's kind of stressful.
Mhm.
So yeah, we just want to make ourselves personal with you guys, and yeah, I just want to kick things off. Like I said, like our audience doesn't really know us,
Yeah.
so like, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, like what you like,
Well, I'm Josh, and well, I'm from Orange County, California. I grew up in Orange County, California, to two immigrant parents. My parents came here when they were in their teens. So my dad was like around 14, my mom was around 19, and they had to struggle at the beginning to find a job and stuff, um, and it was just hard for them to make their way around in a new country. They didn't know the language, obviously. Um, so I grew up there. I have two older brothers. One of them is a firefighter right now. He's actually fighting the fires in California. And my other brother is a civil engineer in Northern California.
Yeah. Shout out to your brother for the fires.
Yeah,
man.
shout out to him. He's putting in work. So shout out to my brother, and all the other firefighters that are fighting those big fires in California. We love our healthcare workers and our firemen. So, but yeah, so I grew up in California. After college or after high school, I went to community college for a year, and then I went on a mission for my church, and then after that I came to study here at the university, started nursing school, and yeah, so here I am. And then along the way we'll explain more in detail about that. But yeah, let us hear about you, Brian.
All right, bet. Yeah, so I mean, I'm Brian. Um, I'm from Danbury, Connecticut, over in the East Coast. I was born also to two immigrant parents. My parents are actually from Ecuador, and it's really cute, their story. They grew up in like the same like hometown in like Giron, Ecuador. Any Ecuadorians out there, shout out to y'all. And in that around like Giron, Cuenca area, that's where my family's from. And so they met when they were really young, and they were like, caught like typical love story. It's not for my dad. My mom, she's like, I hated your dad type beat. But for them, they also grew up like really impoverished, not really having a formal education, working really hard. My dad like helped his parents, farm and, you know, help with livestock and stuff like that. Same thing with my mom too. And they were like, we want like a better future for myself. For them, at first it was for themselves. And then they were like, well, what about like a family and whatnot? And then They started dating, and then my dad was the first one to come here to the U.S. in 1995. And he came here. He worked really hard to be able to pay for my mom to get here, and she came here in 96. They got married in 97, and then I was born in 2000, and I have 3 younger siblings now. We're a family of 6. And one thing that I really like from my parents is, and something that I take away from them a lot, is that they gave me a work ethic. There is just, a lot to be done in the world. And, I've seen from them like how hard work, like really working hard and being effective as a worker as well can lead you to, great things. My parents came from nothing, and now they have a home, like they have kids, like they can provide for us too. I'm here at the university as well. They shaped my life for the better. And for me, with like nursing school, I came here in 2021, and I was like thinking about what I want to do, and so I decided on nursing. Now that we touched upon that, like I feel like our story, like how we met, kind of influenced us in like nursing as well.
Mhm.
You want to share the story how we met?
That's actually a funny story. So me and Brian, I think we've known each other for like 2 years now, like 2 or 3 years,
3
maybe
years. I think 3 now.
probably like 3 years. So we actually met at work. So at assisted living home here in where we live at. Brian started working there before me, obviously. And so this guy, I just met this kid. Like he was just like always on his, like he would always be like, I don't know. He would just he would be alone the whole time. Like he wouldn't talk to nobody. And like at the time, I already had a group at work and stuff like that I would hang out with on the outside. And like this kid, he was just like, always doing his thing at work, like, always working hard. And then like one time, like I started talking to him, and I was like, yo, what's up? Like, what you doing? Like, what? And then he's like, oh, I'm trying to get into the nursing program. And I was like, oh, me too. Like that's the goal. And then we were like, and then I was like, oh, like, are you in our group chat? Like, because we already had a group chat with like the rest of the friends in our.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, like I didn't know there was a group chat. And
that is so funny.
and then he was like, yo, add me. And I was like, all right, bet. So I added him to the group chat. And then that group, we would always go to like Thai food and stuff. And we'd always, like after work or something, we'd meet up in a day to go get Thai food or like just hang out and eat and stuff. So then Brian started coming with our group and stuff. And that's how me and Brian met. And then we started getting closer and tighter. And then we became gym buddies. Like we started going to the gym together. So Brian, actually, he was when I met him, he was like a little bit bigger guy.
Yeah, a little bit.
And yeah, throughout the years, he's been my gym partner, and we've been going to the gym ever since, like 2 years ago. And he's helped me a lot, stay committed, stay consistent, and I've helped him stay consistent, and stay committed too.
Put in work, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, for sure. That's how we met.
Yeah, honestly, like I didn't even know like y'all had that, because I was gone in Ecuador because I was taking care of my grandma, and then I came back trying to get my job back, and they weren't letting me. They were like, we filled out. I'm like, dog, like I told you, like I have I'm coming back on this day to get my job, and then that's I was talking to our boss, and that's where I found you. You were doing meds. I remember that day really clearly, and I showed you my application for nursing school because you were asking for like tips on how to get better.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I didn't really remember that as much, but
yeah, and the thing is, here's the thing: for this nursing program that we're here, like, it's like an application-based process, and like there's a video essay alongside that. And I actually got rejected my first time. We'll get more into that later. So and then so Josh, he hadn't gotten that far yet. He was still doing his prereqs, and I was showing him like, yeah, this is my video application, and I'm like, this is the one that got me rejected, so don't do this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you showed me your ugly video.
Yeah, it was really bad, honestly.
The one where you had long hair in the video.
Yeah, it honestly really, 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 really bad. Yeah. So I'm glad that like I had the opportunity, because like then I realized like, oh frick, I actually need to try harder on the second time.
Yeah, I remember you showed me that video. I was like, bro, what is this? But that was like, long story short, that's the reason why I got rejected the first time too, is because of my video. So yeah, I should have taken pointers from you, bro.
That's all right, bro. But the thing is that we're here now. We're in nursing school. I'm almost done. I got 2 semesters left. How much you got?
I got 4, including this one. So after this one, I got 3. So yeah.
Yeah.
So Brian's a year ahead of me in nursing school.
It's been a great process, and thinking now that I'm so far along, my nursing career, I think something I always fall back on is, you know, wondering why like I even got into nursing in the first place. For me, like I got into nursing for I think for two different reasons. The first one, my parents specifically. Not saying that they forced me to be into nursing because they wanted to support me in whatever I wanted, but I was like, my parents worked really hard to like have the life that I have, and it's a life that they never had, being able to go to college, get a formal education, get a degree. Like they never would have had that shot, because they came here, worked hard so that I can have what I have. And so for me, I was like, I wanted to like make my parents proud. And so I felt like nursing was a really good avenue to do that. I've always wanted to do something medical my whole life. It was always between doctor and nursing too, but I settled on nursing for this part too. Um, I was never really in the hospital a lot. I know some people kind of have stories of them being in the hospitals and like, oh my gosh, like my nurse was like super like kind and everything like that. I was never one of those kids. I got hurt, but I never got hospitalized a lot. But like someone like like my pediatrician and then his team, they were all like super professional, and like I was like, I want to be like that. I
Mm-hmm.
want to have like a professional, like I want to be like they seem very trustworthy. And I was like, I want to be someone like that when I'm older. And so here I am now. I'm trying to be like them and pay it forward because they took good care of me. Like if they took good care of me, like I want to do the same thing for my
Mm-hmm.
future patients as well.
For sure. For me, well, like one of the biggest reasons why I'm here and in nursing school is definitely God. Like this is definitely something that I was inspired by God to do and to choose. Like I said, after high school, I went to community college for a year, and I was originally trying to do like physical therapy or like athletic training because I like love the gym. Like from like from high school, like I started working out because of football. I played football in high school, so um, I was just like always athletic type, and I love to work out. So I always wanted to be like a physical therapist, athletic trainer. I loved my athletic trainer from high school. Like me and him, we would like do stuff together, and it was super cool. Um, but then, so after that year, I went on my mission, like I said, for my church, and then at the time, so COVID hit on my mission, and then at the time I was in Guatemala, so I got sent out to Guatemala to just preach about Jesus Christ and His gospel, and so COVID hit, and then at the time, like I saw a lot of people like die and stuff and get hospitalized, and it was just sad to see all these like people just dying from respiratory problems, and all I could do at the time was just spiritually heal them, with the Word of God and encouraging them that they have an afterlife and something to look forward to, even if like a loved one dies or they die. um, but I was missing like the physical healness, like so I think that interested me a lot in nursing is that I wanted to be able to like spiritually heal somebody but also physically heal them, like their respiratory problems and stuff, and I decided that nursing was like a great way for me to do both, to be able to physically heal them, and spiritually heal them, with the Word of God and stuff. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's why I got into nursing, and it's been a good experience so far.
That's great, dude. I think like just for everyone, just like I think everyone kind of just needs to like remember their purpose in nursing. It can the reason can literally be anything, bro. You can literally say like, oh, it's because my parents want to.
Yeah, they
Mom
forced
wanted me
me.
to. They
My
forced
parents
me
forced me.
into. I've seen some people like that, but
Yeah.
the thing is like we don't judge, like as nurses and as future nurses, like and especially in nursing school, like we're a community.
Yeah.
Like we're here to pick each other up. And like I said, like with us, especially as like first gen, like this is like a very relatable story. Like I feel like related to you in
Hmm.
my story, and just and that's the whole point of us being here as well. Just we want to like
For
uplift
sure.
other people as well. You
Yeah.
know.
All right. Now we could get into like, is it where by LosLatinoNurses got started?
Yeah, yeah. Let's delve into that
All
because that
right.
that was a kind of just
Out of the nowhere,
yeah, it was
huh?
on a whim, as people usually say.
So I can share my story, and then if Brian wants to share his. So like I said, like I was spending a lot of time with Brian. We'd go to the gym together and stuff, and me and Brian, like we're like best friends. Like we tell each other everything. Like we hang out all the time, and he knows everything, and I know everything about him. Um, and like we just love to joke around and mess with each other. Like we like to tease each other, and like I was just like always thinking like we're like funny people, like we're just like, you know, like we're too funny not to be famous, or like we're too funny not to make funny videos and stuff. And then we were just like thinking one day like, and actually like we actually like shout out to Foods and Medicine, we actually got a lot of inspiration from them.
Yeah,
you
for
know
real. We love their content.
yeah,
Man.
yeah, they're some funny people, and we love watching them and stuff. And we got a lot of inspiration from them. We're like, hey, like we could do something like this too, you know, like how it is to be food and nursing. And that's like one of their videos that popped off is the foods and nursing one, and that's how a lot of people like got to know us and stuff. But shout out to them. But yeah, so we're just like, oh, like let's see, like if we could do like Latino in nursing, or like how it is to be like a male in nursing, or like, you know, because there's a lot of stereotypes and stuff with males in nursing, and we didn't even like we on social media we didn't even really see much males in nursing or Latinos in nursing, so we're like, this is a perfect like thing that we could do. Like it's different from foods and medicine because they're obviously in med school and we're in nursing school, so we're like we could show like the world like how it is to be a male and Latino in nursing, and like bring like a comedic aspect to it, like a way to like that's funny. And me and Brian were always just like at work and stuff, we'd always get the stereotypes of being a male and Latino in nursing, and we were just like we could like relate to our audience and then just start making videos. And then we just started making videos like we didn't even know they were gonna pop off, like we are just having fun, and everybody at first was doubting us. They were like that's so cringe, that's so awkward, like you guys are weird, like
Yeah, we
stop
still
doing
get that today.
we
So.
still get that today, but it's all good. Like we keep going, like there's nothing there, we don't have to like we don't listen to them. But anyways, that's how we started, and then we started popping off with the foods and nursing video, and then that's how, and then we just were like we got to keep going, like we can't stop now. And you know, shout out to you guys for always like watching and stuff, and loving our videos and stuff. So
Yeah. No, like, Josh pretty much summed it up pretty well. It was like literally, it's almost been a year, honestly, since that happened, because it happened like end of April.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it was during our finals week. You know,
yeah,
we, we
yeah,
we started this during finals week, so it was really funny. We were so stressed out with finals, and yeah, like I had my farm final. Remember that?
yeah.
I was in farm, I was in med surg and stuff like that, and then we were just like, nah, let's just make this video like real quick. Like uh the OGs will remember this. It's the I'm a male in nursing.
I think it's
Or I'm a Latino nursing, of course.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we just recorded that on a whim, like on a regular phone and whatnot, and then we just uploaded it, and then we just like thought really nothing of it. Like it was fun. Like I had fun doing it. It was funny, you know. And
Yeah, that's
then
funny.
and then started getting traction, and then we're like, okay, let's try a little more,
Yeah.
you know. And then we did, and
We
then
did some workout videos too, like workouts to do as a nurse and like as a Latino nurse or whatever.
it's like it kind of delved into this page and this platform that we honestly like we were aiming for. We always were low key aiming for it, but we didn't think it was gonna come like this fast. You know, because we just grinded the whole summer making videos too.
Yeah.
Like that entire like
Yeah.
May to like August period, we just cranked out videos. We're just like thinking and like just like in the studio and then in the booth and just like
making videos.
making videos, ideas, and honestly, like we're still doing that today.
We're trying to grind, trying to pump out different content, see what you guys like.
Yeah.
And like this is a perfect example, like this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Like we like I think you said it really well. Like we want to relate to people, but also do it in like a very humorous way.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think it was that funny, but I mean, he said Josh be saying that like, bro, like you're funny as frick, and like I think he's funny as frick too. So it's like
Brian's definitely one of the funniest guys I know. It's like if you guys get to know him, that guy's a clown. I love this guy. But,
it's so funny, man.
But yeah, so yeah, and you know we have other ideas that we're gonna come along. That's gonna come, and we just want you guys' support for them too. So.
Yeah. We're just free flowing around here.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast, posts, like content, like we'll see what sticks, you know?
Yeah, see what you guys like, see what you guys enjoy. Yeah, so.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, you know, I feel like an aspect of Los Latino Nurses that we're trying to like kind of, you know, show more to people is just kind of like a little bit of just like struggle, you know? Because it's very like important to like obviously celebrate, you know, our successes and celebrate, you know, all the good things that, you know, we bring to the table as just nurses in general, not even Latino or males. But sometimes this road's hard, man. You know?
Nursing school has been tough. This last semester was tough.
Yeah, man. Like, do you want to talk about like kind of the struggles you had in nursing school and like even as like a first gen student, you don't even have to do that either.
Okay, first gen, something that like so we live in Utah, right? And the majority is white people, so like we're like the minority here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's completely different from when I was in California. Like I was like the majority, but here in Utah, like we're the minorities, and um, it's just been difficult to like connect with people. I think that's the biggest thing has been it's difficult to connect with people of you know the other race because there's a majority and they have their cliques, I guess. But um, I don't know. Also, like another struggle that I've had is like my parents. Like since they're first gen, like since I'm a first gen Latino nursing student, like my parents didn't have any. They didn't go to college, so like I don't have any resources there. Um, so that's also been it's been hard. So I haven't been able to like be like, hey dad, like, you know, like how do I apply to this? How do I get this? But obviously, like there's some resources here at the university that have helped me a lot through that and through applying to scholarships and FAFSA, just getting stuff like that. Um, so um, that's the struggles I can think of right now. I don't know, like what struggles do you got?
Yeah, I honestly, it's the same thing too. I just felt like, so to get an idea of like, so y'all can relate. Like I'm from Danbury, Connecticut. If anyone's ever been there, it's like, yeah, it's like obviously most America's white and whatnot,
Yeah.
but like I live like an hour away from like the city, from New York City. So Danbury is like a commuter town, and like you got everybody there, every race, everything. It's one of the most diverse places ever been. And then coming to Utah, like here, I'll put it like this: the people in Utah are like their mountains, all white. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard sometimes to find some
Nah,
Latinos
there's
there.
nothing wrong with that. We love being here.
Right. No, there's no hate, but it's really funny because like it's sometimes kind of hard to relate.
It was
And
a culture shock when we
it is
like
a very big culture shock,
when
like being
we
here,
came here. Yeah.
and like that kind of shocked me. Like for the first like 2 years being here in Utah and like getting my prereqs done and all that, like it was hard because I felt like I didn't have any friends, and it wasn't even just in the fact that they're Latino or not. I just didn't have any friends.
It's definitely hard making some friends here.
Yeah, and so that
Yeah.
was a huge struggle for me. Just even as like as a first gen student, Josh touched upon this, like resources, especially like my parents. Like if you guys have people that like have gone to college, use them. That is an amazing resource because I never knew how much like knowledge I have just going through this path alone. Um, to put an example, like it's really hard to like have your parents understand like I can't do this, like I can't like talk to you guys as much as I would like to because I got freaking clinicals, I got like an essay and stuff like that, and I wish I could ask my parents for help on like on assignments and just how to get through college, but they just like it's hard, and a lot of people who have like parents who went to college, that's an amazing asset that they have, which is something as us as first gen students, it's not readily available to us. So like I always ask like my friends or like counselors and whatnot. Counselors are your best friends here at the university, man, especially your first gen.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I always think about that, and just, well, I know that in the future, like whenever I have like my own family and whatnot, I'll be able to spread my knowledge to them,
For sure.
so that I don't have to do what I did here. Speaking of which, there are like because of us like being here basically on our own, there's some values that like things that I really treasure about myself and my own personality that help me get through like these tough times. Like for you, like what are like some values that like kind of helped you through all these tough times here in nursing school?
Definitely, like my relationship with God is one of my biggest values that I cherish right now. If it wasn't for God, like obviously I wouldn't be here in Utah. I wouldn't be in this nursing school that I'm in right now. I definitely feel that He's guided me to where I am today, and I'm always grateful for God and Jesus Christ and what they've done for me and guided me and helped me. That's my biggest core value. I don't think I would be able to like even live here if it wasn't for them, because for God, um, because He's always in my life. He's guiding my life all the time. So that's my biggest one. And I'm like I may feel alone, like I may feel physically alone, like without my, because all my family's back in California. I don't really have any family here. I'm just like on my own, living on my own. I'm not alone when God's like right there. So I think that's my biggest one.
Yeah, that's sick. I wholly agree with that. I think just like having the religious aspect of us like is what helps us, stay on the path, help us
For
to
sure.
not give up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, I think something that I really value, I think in myself right now is like resilience and like tenacity, like never giving up. And the
Yeah.
reason I say this is because it's really because of this one moment, really. It's because you were there for this. I remember too. Um, it was when I first got rejected from nursing school. That was really crushing. It was extremely crushing. And
With
here,
that video, bro.
yeah. Honestly, I don't blame admissions for that at all. But here's the thing, like, for me, like as me, like I've always been a straight A student. I've always gotten pretty much almost everything I ever could ask for. I've gotten to any program I ever wanted to. Like that was the kind of person that I am, the kind of student that I expected myself to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I put in a lot of work. Obviously, the video could have been way better,
Mm-hmm.
but like when I submitted that application, I was like, this is my best work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna get in. Like I was like, I have to. Like I can get in.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the letter back, and it was a rejection letter. And for the first time in my life, that was like when I experienced like true rejection. Like you know,
Dang.
and that was hard. That was really hard because I started doubting like my future. I was like my future's done, bro. Like I know I'm overreacting, like I'm tripping out right now, but in the moment it's like really hard.
Yeah.
And even though my parents, don't have like the experience of like going to college and applying for these stuff like that, what they do have is life experience. And
Mm.
in that moment, my dad and my mom were just like, no matter what happens, keep your head up, try again, and if you fail at that, well, I know you can find something else. No matter what, I know you're going to be good at something. I know you can accomplish anything like you set your mind to. And that, them sharing their life experience with me helped me to realize that like I'm not like defined by like my failures or like this one stumbling block isn't going to, halt my life forever. I remember that I can apply again to the nursing program.
Mm-hmm.
And so the second time that I applied, I literally tried so freaking hard on that video. And I'm not even gonna lie, I put in the exact same application, except the video was well done. It
It
was
was
done. It
good,
was
yeah.
it was done in the recording studio right here, like professional mic, everything. I cleaned myself up. I put a white shirt and tie on, like bro, like like
It
it
was
was
good.
it was a good video. I was like, if I don't get in with this, I don't know what I'm doing. But like but I really value that, like, resilience and just like finding motivation always to just keep on going. That for me is what has helped me just get through nursing school so much. And I hope that's something that our audience can relate to too as
Something
well.
else that we missed out. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
That we missed out. Another core value that we both share, obviously, is our family.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We definitely value our family, where they came from, the struggle that they've gone through to get us where we're at here today, as first gen Latino college students, and coming from immigrant parents, both coming from like my family coming from El Salvador. They left everything behind over there to get us a better future, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I definitely value that, value their sacrifice that they've had for us. Um, and like I'm just grateful for my parents and for this and what they've gone through to get me here, and I can't let them down. Like I have a bright future ahead of me. Like I know what I'm capable of. I know what you're capable of. Like the road is endless if we put our mind to it, and I truly believe that. Um, so that's the counsel that we want to share with you guys. Some counsel that we want to give you guys is um, that the world is there's a billion possibilities that you could do. If you put your mind to it, you could definitely achieve it. In high school, like I always knew I had the potential, like to do good things. Like I never signed up for any AP class. I never did any extracurricular activities that I didn't want to do to advance my education. Like I was just always like just getting through the motions. Like like obviously I didn't fail high school. Like it was pretty easy for me, but I just never put in the work. Um, and then I felt like going on my mission helped me like open up my mind to like so many things. And and then I think at that moment, God showed me like my potential and what I could achieve and accomplish in life. And ever since I've been a straight A student. like since I came back from my mission, came to this university. Except one, I have one B in my transcript, and I'm very upset about that. But we'll talk about that later. But ever since then, like I knew my potential, I knew my capability, and as long as I put in the work, I could achieve anything. I've taken some really really tough classes in nursing school, probably the toughest here on campus. And like I've gotten A's in the classes, and I knew that if I put my mind to it, like I could achieve it. And I feel like you also have to be a perfectionist if you're in nursing school or like any medical healthcare like job or whatever. You we're all perfectionists. Like we have to like be the best. But yeah, so we just want to counsel you guys that even though we're first gen Latino nursing students, um, or Latinos, that we could accomplish anything. That the world is endless. There's many possibilities that we could accomplish. Just put your mind to it. We're also here to break barriers. We're not, as Latinos, we're not gonna mow lawns, and we're not gonna like paint your house and put up concrete. Like
in the hospitals, we ain't gonna be the janitors.
Yeah, we're
all
not
the
gonna be the
time.
janitors. Like we don't have to be. If that's your passion, that's your career, then pursue that. But there's other possibilities for us Latinos. We're not just stereotypical Latinos, janitors, cleaners, or lawn mowers and stuff. And we're here to show the world that we are more than that. We could be more than that. And we're doing it with our example. Getting into nursing school.
Exactly. Josh's story is mad inspirational, man. Like I've seen the progression, man. Like from before, like he got into nursing school, and to being in it now. He's been in it for a year now, and just like Josh puts in mad work, man. Like he literally is like the epitome of like hard work and just like breaking like stereotypes and all this stuff. Like, because I know he's always been a smart kid.
In high school, like
yeah.
I didn't try, bro. Like I knew I could have been more. I knew. And then looking back now, I wish I would have, and it probably would have helped me a lot. Like now, but I had to learn some way.
Exactly. And now you're here, which is like brilliant. Like I'm glad he's in the program with me. Like we see each other in the halls and whatnot. It's nice. It's kind of like a proud moment. I'm just like, I know I didn't have like a lot. Like
bro,
a
you
lot
did. If it wasn't for you,
yeah.
Nursing school will be a lot tougher, and I'd have to learn some more lessons. You helped me out a lot. Like I appreciate you, and I tell you that all the time, bro. If it wasn't for you, like I wouldn't have done good on my essay. Like he was there when I recorded all my like videos and proofread on my essays and stuff. So Brian's been a huge help. I'm grateful for him.
Oh no, big facts. Honestly, a lot of the resilience too I get from Josh too, and like the hard work, like the way he just like puts his mind to something. I'm just like, I can take from that. I know I can do that too, and that's why we're here right now in this podcast room.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah. Speaking of like nursing school and whatnot, it's like a really kind of like busy time for us. We got freaking clinicals. You got care plans for even starting those things right now, and just like, but other from that, like we got life too. Like we got like family. We want to make sure to take care of our families. We got friends, sometimes love interests here and there as well. You know what I'm saying? It's really funny. Sometimes hard to like kind of balance all of that.
Yeah.
Like I see you. I think you were like a really good example of that. Like, how do you do it?
How do I balance school?
Yeah. How do you balance school with like the other parts of life? I feel like you do a really good job of that. I feel like at anybody.
I think you do. You're living it right now. I feel like at first it was hard for me. Well, we can get into like more details like in the future with other episodes and stuff. We're running like low on time and stuff.
For sure.
We're running too long, but long story short, like I used to be super bad at it. Like it was just school. Like I would cut off relationships at first. Like it was just school gym food. Like that was like my biggest priority. And like my social life, I didn't have a social life. I didn't hang out with any friends. I lost relationships with significant others as well because I was just like I didn't know how to balance like school at first. Like, and this was like before nursing school, so it was like during my prereqs where I was just like, I need to get into nursing school. Like I gotta be a perfectionist and stuff. So I cut off a lot of relationships. I just had my mind focused on nursing school, the gym, and just cooking and sleeping. Like I wouldn't hang out with friends. Like I would tell friends like, hey, like I can't do this because I gotta study, or like I can't. Like I felt that if I went out with some friends, like I was like sacrificing school. Like I was sacrificing study time or something. And then looking back now, like I regret doing that. I regret cutting off some relationships. I regret losing some friendships that I wish I still had today because I was just so stubborn and like I wasn't open minded. But once I got into nursing school, like it all changed. Like I wasn't competing for anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I was okay, like I'm in nursing school, like all I have to do is just get some good grades and graduate, And Brian helped me out a lot too, like, going to the gym with me and stuff and he would invite me to things to hang out with him and his friends and I can't say no to Brian. So I was like, okay, I would hang out and then so it's been good. Like I've been able to balance it now. Like something that I do that helps me so much is okay. So I don't do homework on Sundays. Like that's my day where like I just like do laundry or cook or like meal prep or like hang out with friends. Like yesterday, like I hang out with all my friends the whole day. Like we went to church together, and then the rest of the day we were just hanging out and just like hanging out with other friends and So I feel like I choose one day a week where it's just like I forget about school. I don't worry about no assignments. I don't worry about nothing. And it's like myself, like my rest day, like the Sabbath day, like
for sure. I know, yeah.
And that's been like a refresher for me every week that I look forward to. Like I forget about school, forget about the gym, forget about everything, and I just focus on my social life, hang out with friends, and just do things that I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I say just pick out a day that works for you, and just forget about everything. Like forget about everything, forget about school, and sometimes it's hard to do that, but I've been able to do that my whole college career. Is just the Sabbath day is just to keep it holy, and I think that's helped me out so much. Yeah.
Dude, what a spiritual guy, guys. For real. He does a really good job. I know he says he doesn't, but he really does. I guess like for me too, like I try to do a lot of those things too. I think for me, what I try to like emphasize, like I'm very like as Latinos, we're all very close to our families, right? And us being so far away, it's really hard to be with them. And I guess sometimes like there are family obligations that we have to like abide by still, even being so far away. Like, like we're still expected to know, like kind of like be involved with our families despite being so far away. And that's sometimes something, for me at least, something that can be a little stressful, because like our family like, oh, like you forgot about us and stuff like that. Especially because like we're in school and they have like love interests, girlfriends, whatever, something that for me that like I like helps me a lot to just reconnect, not even with my family, with everybody else, is like, especially with my family, I try to call them like at least like, like twice a week. For me, that's enough.
Twice a week.
Like call them like audio call, FaceTime. Honestly, I prefer FaceTime a lot more so I can see them because I only see my family like maybe 2 times a year, like Christmas, like either Christmas or New Year's, and then summer, and then that's as much as I see, my family out here. But my family like is really important to me, and I feel like they're very like they help me a lot with like with the stresses of life and school. They are great, like I said, they offer great life advice. They help me a lot with like my mental health too. Sometimes this nursing stuff gets amps up really fast, and I'm just like, hey yo dad, like sorry, I just like I'm busy, like I just got a lot of stuff, like all this stuff, or my mom too, and she's like, you don't call as much anymore. I'm like, yeah, sorry, I just got like all this stuff. But I'm fortunate to have like people that are really understanding, and I'm a person that likes to maintain like relationships and friendships with people. Like I'm the kind of person that'll reach out and be like, hey, how you doing, bro? Like, are you okay? Stuff like that. That meme. Say it.
I saw this meme on Instagram. I sent Brian. I was like, how you doing, bro? And then he's like, I just died.
I just want a KMS.
Or like I just like I broke my leg or something. And then the guy's like, all right, just checking.
Just checking. I'm that kind of guy. No, I'm that kind of guy. But then I'm like, no, seriously, like that's just for me. Like for me, I just like I do like certain people. I like being of help to people and just being like, hey, like I might not be like your bestest friend in the whole world, but I'm someone there. Like if you need something, like I got you. Relationships,
you are, for sure.
Relationships and just like and bonds. that makes me feel fulfilled
Yeah.
through all of nursing school, and like I think you see it too. Like
No, for sure. You've been a good friend. Like I have no doubts. Like I could trust you with my life, bro. Like I would, I don't know, I would do anything for you, dog.
yeah, me too, bro.
So
Yeah,
should we wrap this thing up or what?
yeah. Do you have like any like I know you offered advice, but do you have like any advice for like people in nursing school or just people in nursing in general, especially as like either as a first gen or as like a male or anything? It can be anything. We'll leave this question open.
Some good advice, like I said, just you could do it. Like if, like I truly believe if you put your mind to something, you could achieve it. Like you just got to put in the work. You just got to be consistent, be determined, and that's with anything in life. Like if you want to achieve like any mental health, if you want to overcome any mental health struggles, any physical like capabilities, like if you want to get a lean body or something like in the gym, like if you put your mind to it, you could accomplish it. Just be consistent, be committed, and work. Like that's all. That's what you got to do is just work, and that goes for nursing school too. Like um, where we're at right now, it's probably one of the toughest nursing schools to get into in all of Utah.
Yeah, for real.
And everybody was like, when I was like first trying to like get into, they were like, oh, that's like a hard nursing school to get into. Like, I heard it's so hard. Until this day, like when we tell people like, oh, we're in nursing school, like they're like, oh, like how'd you get in? Like that's hard. I heard it's hard to get in where you're at. And then we're just like, I guess we're smart or like, but no, like we obviously had to put in the work. We had to like, in it day in and day out, like put in the work, like, and then we did, and then the fruits of our labors are here. So yeah, that's the advice. Just work, bro. Just work.
For real. For me, like I just want to keep it like nice and sweet. And with specifics to anyone who's watching this in nursing school, something that's helped me a ton is honestly being involved in nursing school.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know when nursing school started that there's like a bunch of like clubs and like stuff like that in nursing school.
Yeah.
In my own school, like I'm a part of like SNA and stuff like that. I'm like part of like the Honor Society here now.
Brian's an all-around guy for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of like everywhere, like like that's me,
Yeah.
like and like I'm not saying that that's like gonna propel you to like new heights, but I think it does help, and you don't even have to do clubs or anything like that. I think for me, what's even more helpful too is just like making sure like your professors know who you are, drop in their office hours, say what's up. I have a really close relationship with every single one of my like nursing clinical professors that I know in the future I can look to them and be like, I need a recommendation from you, and just like, making sure like obviously not like famous, don't be infamous, don't be doing too much, you know what I'm saying? But like if the professor like
Bro, you are doing too much though.
sometimes, I can't lie. But like just making sure like, like that your professor are there, that like you're doing good and stuff like that. I think that goes a long way. And like you build, like I said, relationships, a lot of a lot of jobs and whatnot, it's like people who and getting connections. So that's my advice to anybody in nursing school. Just be involved, like be part of your program, be part of your cohort.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sums everything up. There's gonna be more podcasts in the future. We're excited. We're probably like I said, we're gonna have some guests from some first gen Latino nursing students, or yeah, maybe on campus in our classes and stuff that we'd love to get on and ask them, and some other people from other different healthcare. We'd love to get their stories as well if they're Latino first gen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we're excited. We have good things to come. But yeah, thanks for joining us. And anything you want to say before we head out?
Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah, Los Latino Nurses out. This is the Nurses Con Sazón Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It's gonna be on YouTube. We're gonna try to get on other platforms as well, like Spotify and other stuff like that. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to Los Latino Nurses. This is the Nurses Con Sazón Podcast out.